run my deck tech right from my screen. So,
Yep.
and then you can run it right from your screen.
Hmm.
So I'm going to blow up a giant look of the card. So give me 1 second here. Display. Show preview pane. We're gonna make that get real big here. Alright. So for me, um, I've made a few changes. I actually know I'm gonna make a few more. I haven't put Elixir in here, and I definitely feel like I need to, because
Why?
I'm just dealing with a lot of cards, a lot of different cards. Where if you rip out, if I pulled an Elixir, I could have popped back in, gained 5 life, and then shuffled all my revs back in.
Yeah, I don't think that's very
I
good.
feel like it's a thing I needed to do.
Hey,
Um,
you can try it. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to try it. So I do have a turn and burn. Um, I mean, there's a lot of you know, little 2 power creatures that I can dump. But also, if you get like on top of a dragon, which is pro white, so I can't like banishing light it or desphere it. Turn and burn just gives me a 5 mana. I'm gonna get rid of your dragon. So I really do like turn and burn. As for lands, I'm running 27 lands. The pretty standard. I'd say that's pretty standard, right?
Yeah, for rev decks.
So
I think 26 might be a little more common at this point, but like 27 seems right.
yep.
You just want to hit lands.
4 hollowed fountains, 4 islands, 2 mutavaults. It's not as many mutavaults as like blue white runs or anything like that, but
Yeah, you can. You just
I
want.
don't need that. Planes, 2 planes, 1 sacred foundry, 2 steam vents, and then we get into my temples, and I run 4 temples of enlightenment, 4 temples of epiphany, and 4 temples of triumph. So that's pretty awesome there. I ended up going to 2 quickens. I like this card, especially when you're playing someone that's got like Mistcutter in the side or whatever, like a Jund deck.
Hmm.
It's like they're gonna be like, oh, Mistcutter for 8, swing, and then you can't counter it, you can't do anything. So the only thing you can do is quicken verdict
Hmm.
and dump it. And so quicken plays really well there, and with not much downside because quicken for 1 you get to cast verdict right away, and you draw a card too. So
Yeah.
I kind of
Also,
like
like just getting to cantrip can
yeah
be really relevant. Like it's like, oh god, I really need that counter spell. It's not like guaranteed you hit it or anything, but
yep
it gives you a shot.
yep. Syncopate I'm still running a 2 of. It's really good in the early matchups, like in the early game, because they could be like you have like an opening syncopate, so turn 2, you could actually have it up, and they could be like turn 2 do this, and you could be like syncopate, and then they'd be like, damn. Um, then I have 1 of Deicide and a 1 of Last Breath. Deicide I really like and might go to a 2 of.
Yeah.
The Exile is just really nice.
I think
Um,
like Thassa seems to be much less popular though. Like I haven't even
well,
seen a lot
Thassa
of
is
it.
less popular, but I like it actually as a 2-drop removal for like Underworld Connections or something like that, because
Yeah,
they
yeah, of
can't get it
course.
back. Because Banishing Light, they can abrupt decay back, or Detention
Yeah,
Fear can be abrupt decay back. Where this, it's like good luck, you're
that's
not
cool.
getting it back, and it's an instant for 2. So I kind of like that.
Hmm.
Last Breath, just it's all in all solid card. Um, I mean, it hits everything from Courser to Scoos to whatever. Is it Charm? Another great card. I can either kill something with 2 power, or I can counter a non-creature spell, or if you really get into a bind, you can cycle. So I do run 2 Banishing Lights, 4 dissolves. I mean, dissolves enough said. Banishing Light pretty much enough said. Um, 2 Detention Spheres. So I instead of running like 4 D spheres or whatever, I'm running like 2 Banishing Light, 2 D sphere. I think it's a pretty good, you know, mix. And of course 4 revs because this is a rev deck. All right, so yep, I'll get to that part, Leyland, in a second. Um, I definitely like verdict. Verdict's a 4 of always. And 4 Jace. Yes, what Leyland was saying, I am running 2 Karanos. I really like him. I don't know if I'm going to go down to 1 of him, but I like the 2 of. I was thinking about running 3 Elizabeth and 1 him, but I went to 2 and 2, and I'm going to test that out. If you guys watch the channel a lot, you'll see me streaming this deck a lot. Because I feel like this is going to be where I'm going to be home at for a while. Um, so, the 2 Chronos. The one game he was in there, how'd you feel he did, Brandon, really, when he took
Kronos?
over? Yeah.
Okay, so Kronos is really good as like an inevitability thing.
Yeah.
The games that you had him, you were just really far ahead when you got him. So I don't know if it was a very good representation of how good the card actually is. Maybe it's that good. Maybe it's not quite as good. Like,
Sure.
Yeah, it was just kind of at the point where I was like, oh yeah, Kronos, okay, well you win anyway. It could have been an Elspeth at then. It could have been Aetherlink, whatever. But it was a decent finisher. Like you got some good value off him.
Yeah. And then 2 Elspeth. So for my sideboard as of right now, I'm pretty sure that's subject to change. I'm going to swing it all over here. I'm running 2 Celestial Flare. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's good. It gets rid of Dragon.
Yeah, I don't think it was good in this matchup, though. I'm only running 2 Dragons. Like,
yeah.
This isn't a super heavy deck.
Burmaz is a 2 of in the sideboard. I feel like he'd be really good in, like, the aggro. If I'm taking on, like, a mono red or mono black deck, like aggro, like he'd be killer because all I do is play him on turn 3 and then just block. The only downside is that's when you have Supreme Verdict, and this is more of a Verdict deck than not a creature deck, I would say. So I feel like him and then my next card, Archangel Thune, might move out of the sideboard, and I might bring in more like counterspell stuff, like negates and stuff.
I think I like Archangel. I don't like Brimaz. Brimaz has been this card that's been such a huge letdown for me. Like, I didn't really.
I don't know. Like, he's just one of those really weird ones. Like, I feel like he could be good.
Maybe.
But then I can't, like, I play him, and I feel like, okay, well, I can't Verdict now because I played him. And
yeah, I just don't think. Yeah, like A, he doesn't go good in a Verdict deck. B, the card just. I haven't even seen it snowball.
Like, even Archangel's not that great in a Verdict deck. But then there's one Aetherlink.
I think Archangel's really good. Like 2 Archangels in your sideboard?
Yeah, I have 2 Archangels. Then I have an Aetherlink in the side, and I have 1 Dispel.
Yeah.
I'm running 3 Magma Sprays right now.
Wow.
Well, because Red White Burn has become such a thing. If you starting to see it, a lot of Chandra's Phoenix is still out there, and I just don't feel like dealing with it.
Okay.
So Chandra's Phoenix makes it go away.
You need 3 of those though?
I'm running 3 right now. That might just change. Like I said, the sideboard's brand new to me, so 2 Counterflux because it's a really good card.
Yep, good counterspell.
It's a phenomenal counterspell. 1 Wear and Tear because there's a lot of enchantments, and destroy 1 enchantment for a 1 is pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then Assemble the Legion is just a really good get there card.
Is that a 1-of?
Yeah, it's a 1-of. Yeah. It's basically, I'm going to Verdict, and then, Verdict, dump 4 more, hasty 1/1s on the field. It like, you don't feel bad for verdicting when you have Assemble.
No, yeah.
So, but it's one of those, like, I don't know. So, as you guys see, I'm going to be changing. I'll probably be changing a lot. But like I say, thanks to Card Hoarder, we have these amazing cards here. So let's go into yours. I'm going to go to your screen, actually.
Sure.
So did you go to the top and go to Display?
Where is that? Display?
And then Show Preview Pane. Click that. And then make it big.
I don't know. Like, I think I was just gonna do this.
That's fine. Whatever. I did it in the preview pane. Made it. But
yeah, whatever. So. That's fine. All right. So, so pretty standard Jund list. To be honest, like this is the same kind of thing that we would have seen last standard. Just like some good creatures, and a lot of good removal spells. So obviously, if you're playing black mid-range, you're playing Thoughtseize. It's a 3 of right now. I've got the 4th in the sideboard. I just feel like I don't want to be flooded on this too much. It is an effect that's very good, and I definitely want it in main board. At least 2, probably 3 is what I'm looking at, but at the same time, the deck is 3 colors, so it's just going to do very powerful things. I don't think Thoughtseize is as important. Like, Mono Black objectively doesn't do very many powerful things. Like, Grave Merchant's really good, and it's really powerful in that deck. But other than that, the deck's like, okay, sure, this is pretty good, but it's really just really consistent, and I've torn apart your hand. This is a different deck. We're just trying to do insane stuff like Chandra, so that's the plan here. Scavenging goes very well in this kind of archetype. We've got all these removal spells. So you're killing your opponent's creatures, and then you're making them ginormous with Scavenging Ooze. Sylvan Caryatid, again, just it's our Farseek of the format. Anybody who played with Farseek, played Jund or whatever in the last format, where Farseek was just awesome, you'll understand that you want to be playing Sylvan Caryatids. Look at the other creatures. So 4 Coursers. This is another card that kind of just glues the deck together with Sylvan Caryatid. Being able to play lands off the top of your deck and gain life with them means when you're shocking yourself with this kind of sketchy mana base, you're not too worn down by it. It's still not something you're really excited to do, but it certainly makes it a lot easier. So just playing 4 of these is really important. We're trying out 1 Farrakha. We didn't draw it in that matchup. I think it's very good here. At the FNM, I played a black-green mid-range deck, which had 1 Farrakha, drew it versus a control deck, and pretty much won me the game by making 1/1 snakes. I didn't even attack with Farrakha herself, but I just got like 12 damage in with snakes. It's very good, especially like game 1 when you've got Sylvan Caryatids that are just getting swept up in verdicts, and you really just don't like that. So yeah, it's not as insane as it would be in the Dredge deck, but it's still quite good. The last 2 creatures here are Polychronos and Stormblood Dragon. They're our fatties. These are what you play to win games. I did board out Polychronos in that last matchup. It's just not very good. It dies to Detention Sphere, Verdict, pretty much every removal spell he has except for Last Breath.
Yeah.
But I really don't consider Last Breath when I'm thinking. So pretty much dies to all his removal spells. Stormblood Dragon, on the other hand, is very resilient. It's super good versus those blue-eyed decks. Obviously, it doesn't die to Detention Sphere or Banishing Light. Because it is haste, you can usually get their Planeswalkers with it. It's very rare that they board in like instant speed removal for this guy, for a blue-red deck. I think a lot of blue-red decks might board in like Mizzium Mortars and stuff, but even then, you get in, maybe kill their Planeswalker, or just get 4 damage, and then they Mizzium Mortars it. You're okay with that. It's a 1-for-1 where you get 4 damage, so that's not bad. Looking at the spells here, we've got our removal spells. How many are there in this deck? 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 removal spells, just kind of spreading them out between all these really nice Jund spells. So you've got Dreadbore, which I've been playing in every Jund deck for a while now. Abrupt Decays, I'm running 3 of these, 2 Dreadbores, 1 Ultimate Price. It's just kind of not my favorite removal spell here. I'd much rather have a Dreadbore or an Abrupt Decay usually, or Mizzium Mortars, but sometimes you're just like, oh, that Desecration Demon needs to die. Well, Ultimate Price gets the job done. Mizzium Mortars, very good versus rats. Very good versus all the aggressive decks, or you can just kill Night Veil Spectre with it for 2 mana. That's completely fine. I think a lot of the times people don't play their Mizzium Mortars at the right time because they're trying to wait and overlet it. Well, you know what? Sometimes you just need to kill that thing. Also playing 2 Heroes Downfalls. I considered going a lot like heavier green-black, not playing these Dreadbores and playing Heroes Downfalls instead. I just feel like the cheaper spell is kind of nice. In a deck that a lot of your lands come into play tapped, you just want to be able to kill something for 2 mana. So I decided to try this out. It does make it so I have to play a lot more dual lands, so it's something that I'm considering, just going like 4 Heroes Downfall, maybe 1 Dreadbore or something like that. We've also got our card advantage / Planeswalker stuff, so we've got the 2 Underworld connections. We have 2 more on the sideboard that we can get in there. The card's really good. It's good in a lot of matchups, like Mono Black. It's probably the number one and most.
It won you a game against me.
Yeah, and it just won a game here, so it's very good. Obviously, if you're playing black mid-range, you just want these. I don't run 4 main board. That's a little too greedy for a 3-color deck, so we're just running the 2. But I'm always very happy, especially when I have Chandra, Underworld Connections, and Courser out. That is absurd. So, like I said, I was talking about Chandra. We have 1 here. It's just not a good Planeswalker to have more than 1 of in your hand, because generally you're just zeroing it. You're never going to use the -7 in this deck. Ever, 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 ever. Unless you're in, like, a weird position where you're like, alright, I just need 2 removal spells. Come on! And then you rub your hands together and try to get Jarkors. So, having multiples of this Planeswalker is not great, but the +1 ability is very good right now. Lifebane Zombie is pretty popular still, so be able to kill that, or, there's that mono black aggro deck. You can snipe off some guys in that deck. It hits a lot of stuff, and the 0 draw card is pretty good.
Yeah.
Vraska, equally, just kind of another really good Planeswalker that you want to get some card advantage with. If you go, like, play Vraska -3, +1, then -3 again, it's 2 for 1. That's what you want. Also, it is an alternate win condition. As we saw, I pretty much got there in one of those games with it.
Yep.
So sweet. Pat just didn't let me do it. That was unfortunate.
No, I was not going to give you the satisfaction, sir.
Yeah, well, you know what? People should start giving me the satisfaction, because I have won quite a few games off this nifty little ultimate ability for Vraska, so it's pretty good. And then we've got 2 Rakdos' Return for our last 2 cards. This is a card that I was playing a green-black deck that splashed red only for this for a bit. It seemed really nice. I really liked the effect, but I also think that Stormblood Dragon and Chandra are very good as well. And then, Busy Mortars and Dread Warrior are upgrades to removal, but they're not insane. But I think these 3 cards are the reason I'm in red.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with them.
It played really well. I mean, I've played other Jund decks, and this one actually gave me more issues than not, so...
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. The sideboard was a little thrown together kind of hastily. I think I would have less cards versus control. I could probably go down to 2 Duress. It just felt like I boarded in too much. Like, I didn't need to board in as much as I did. So I'd probably, take out 1 Duress, and, that might be it. Yeah, I'd take out a Duress for, some other removal spell or something. But the sideboard, was very effective in this matchup. And I think that pre-board, this is the worst matchup, because we've just got a bunch of dead cards here. Yeah. So let's just look at the sideboard real quick. We've got our 4th Thoughtseize along with our 3 Duress. Like I said, I'd probably go down to 2 Duress, maybe throw in, 3rd Lightbane Zombie or something. So we've got our discard there, mainly good in this matchup. It's also decent versus mono black. I've got 1 Doomblade on Abrupt Decay, 2 Golgari Charms, which are just sweet. I pretty much countered a Supreme Verdict in one of those games, and I don't think I have to tell anyone that's a pretty sweet feeling when you counter an uncounterable card. It feels pretty good. Along with that, we've got 2 Lightbane Zombies, 2 Underworld Connections, 2 Mistcutter Hydras, and then the 3rd Rakdos Recharm. Return, excuse me.
Yep, Return.
Yeah, that's the deck.
I really like it. So I'm just going to go over to this scene.
I have been having fun with it, that's for sure. And now that we've got all these cards, I can play it online, too.
Yep. So we're going to go back to this scene. Sorry. I had to remember what scenes I had set up. Yeah. So, I mean, now that we have these cards, you can start playing them online. Fact is, we're going to be doing these. And we're trying to do one of these a week. I think right now you're going to see a lot of me playing Control. Do you feel like America Control or Red, White, Blue Control is better, or should you just play a Blue, White?
I think it remains to be seen. We saw Esper be better than Blue, White for a while, and I think this list is going to be nice for Synchro decks.
The Chronos, the Counterflex is really good. And the Chronos, I kind of like it. I mean, it's one of those mini planeswalkers where it gets ahead and then it's ahead. Or you're a little bit ahead and you play him and then you become a lot ahead real quick.
Yeah, I don't think he's a card that I really want to play on turn 5 a lot. He's something like, okay, turn 9, or turn 8 or whatever, I can play this and hold up Dissolve, go.
Yeah.
And then they have this nightmarish turn where they're trying to think of a way to deal with this, and they're trying to play spells, and they're just getting countered. It's not a good time for them.
Yeah.
And then you can follow this up with revving on their end step. Ugh. So gross. If you just rev the next turn after playing a Chronos.
Yeah.
You're in a pretty good position there, and that's a great way to put away a game. You sniped a couple scavenging uses of mine, which is pretty annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Obviously, it didn't have too many targets in this matchup, but there are matchups where it's going to have so many.
Yeah, it's just going to be a target-rich environment. I mean, turn 5, even on, in an aggro matchup, turn 5, you just say turn 4, cleared the board with a rev or a verdict.
Yeah.
And then turn 5 him, and then just every time they're playing something, you draw and be like, oh, Dissolve. Deal 3 to that creature. Oh.
There's that, or you just draw an extra card.
Yeah.
This is a personal Howling Line for 5 mana. It can be looked like that. And there's like, I don't think your deck had the ability to do it, but there are decks that would play this that can turn it on too.
Yeah. I mean, I technically, we've talked about it, me and a few of the guys. Yeah. There's ways to turn it on.
I think the best way is if you're like Grixis Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool deck.
But, I mean, honestly, I feel like, I don't know, the Jaces are needed. The 2 Elspeths are definitely needed. It might be a 3rd Elspeth and one get rid of the Chronos.
I think the ideal number here is like 3 Elspeth, 1 Chronos. Just like multiples of gods is not very good. That's why I'm only playing 1 Farrakha here. Like, I think the card's really good, but I just don't want to.
I just don't know if it's good, like, if I should go back to blue-white control and just get rid of the Izzet. And
no, I like the red.
Like the Turn and Burn I really dig. Like, Turn and Burn is good.
You don't have any Anger of the Gods in your sideboard, do you?
No.
I think that's one of the big reasons to go red. Like, maybe you should try those out.
Yeah, maybe if I throw Anger in.
They're just like way better Supreme Burning.
Like, maybe, you know, get rid of, like, Celestial Flare.
Yeah, like drop the 2 flares for 2 Angers.
Yeah.
That seems cool. Obviously, it doesn't matter in this matchup because you
no. So I mean, the matchup went really. It was like 2 and 2, 2 and 3.
Was it 3-2 at the end there? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll just take it. Flex.
Yeah. But I think honestly it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it seemed pretty even.
It was pretty even. Just getting, I kind of got land screwed the last game because I kept a real loose hand.
Yeah, you kept a loose one. I didn't get to sideboard 1 game. we had some good games. The other ones, you know, game 1 and 2 were both pretty good. We kind of both scraped out the win in those games.
Yeah.
So they were interesting. And then the other game, I think, game 5 was also okay.
I still kind of feel like I might put an elixir in here. Go down to 26 lands.
I just don't think you need it.
I don't know. I mean, you know, if you guys are watching this on YouTube or whatever might it be, just write in the comments. Tell me. You know.
Yeah, let us know.
And we're gonna go from there. So I'm gonna try to get this on YouTube tomorrow.
Sure.
Or
today when you're watching it.
Or today when you're watching it.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I think this went pretty well. If you guys want to see certain decks, please tell us. We'll definitely make those happen. I mean, we have the ability to make any deck happen, really.
Yeah.
So, so if you want to see Planeswalkers or some other tier 1 decks, I mean, green-red monsters or green-red something.
Green-red
Esper control, whatever might it be.
Yep.
We can make it happen. I think I'm gonna try to get into the control mindset because I feel that's gonna be where I'm gonna be home at for a while. Like I feel like that it gives me the best chance to top 64 in SCG Open.
Go for the top 8. Go for the win.
Well, I want to go top 8, but I'm just saying I think that's the best place for me right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I think Porky Pig said it best when he said, "That's all, folks."
You got it. So guys, check us out tomorrow night. State of the Gathering. Brandon, Nadman, me. We'll be talking everything Magic, and there's a decent amount to talk about.